boy Lil Flip, man, representing Screwed Up Click, man. Shout out to N Hale TV. It is. N Hale TV, right above the shit. Snapchat going down.
What's up, your brother?
Hey yo, what's up with it? It's your boy Young Bleed, chilling on Stuntman Entertainment and N Hale TV for 215.
There you go. What up, it's your boy Lil White. Shout out to Stuntman ENT and N Hale TV. I do inhale. Yeah. Lil White is me.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to N Hale TV, where we discuss a lot of the topics that's going on in the hip-hop world. We might even be discussing sports sometimes, or things that just impact or affect the black community. So if y'all been following this page before, y'all kind of know we used to take Facebook situations, viral situations, beef, all that, and we would just kind of tune in, zoom in on it, and do like a comical approach for it. And I might get back into that, but for right now, today, I just wanted to tap in and talk about HoneyKomb Brazy, man. And I was talking to somebody earlier, and they was just speaking on how, what happened to kids being off limits, women being off limits, elderly being off limits, and I'm going to talk about that. So make sure y'all like, subscribe, comment, definitely subscribe. And then hit the notification bell so you get videos from me moving forward. And I'll try to be more consistent and speak on things that's going on around us. Okay? Bet. So, again, HoneyKomb Brazy, man. Hey, look, I like this dude, man. I'm one of those people, man, that I like when there's some authenticity about an artist, especially if you're coming from the streets. Like, I don't like listening to people talk about, what they done did and all that, and it's not valid. You know what I mean? But there's a plus and there's a minus to it, because, the minus is when they really doing that life catches up with them. As we can see with HoneyKomb Brazy, man. Hey, dope artist, but he done been through it, man. They done had attempts on his life. He's had to, defend himself. He's had to step. He's had to lay low. He done had to spin the block a few times himself. You know what I mean? In and out of prison. Family in and out of prison. He done even had to shoot, his own family before. You know what I mean? So it's just a lot, man. And when you live like that, it makes your music relatable to those who are living like that. But at the same time, hey, that stuff comes back. Once you enter the rap game, it doesn't take away your reality. It doesn't take away your past. It doesn't do any of that. All it does is give you more money, more fame, and more eyes on you. And it makes others even madder. You know what I mean? So I first want to say rest in peace to HoneyKomb Brazy's grandparents. His ops, if y'all don't know, shot both of his grandparents. Elderly. The people that we supposed to show the utmost respect to. They were shot and killed. And then the house was set on fire. You had witnesses that heard the boom and heard the cars skirt off and things like that, man. And HoneyKomb was forced to watch that footage of his grandparents' house burning down from a stream. Whether that was FaceTime, whether it was somebody videoing, going live, or whatever it was, it's like he had to watch his grandparents' home burn away. And I know that has to be heavy on his heart, heavy on his mind, to know that the things he was involved in, the situations he's involved in, and the beef that he has led to the death of his grandparents. So pray for him. You know what I mean? Like, whether we're in the streets or not, man, we all need prayer. So you want to pray for HoneyKomb Brazy and his family, and just pray that brother keeps his head up. On a lighter note, you also got to know who you're dealing with. And hey, homie already don't got it all. You know what I mean? Like he ain't afraid to get out here and put in that work. So it's like this is gonna be an escalating beef that's gonna lead to more lives being lost. I guarantee you that. I just hope he's careful on the way that he moves because you're under a microscope now. You're a signed artist. You're affiliated with Jay Prince. You know, people already watch Jay Prince, so it's like there's a lot of pressure on his end, man. Again, I hope we do one day get back to the times where kids is off limits, the elderly is off limits, and women is off limits. The one exception that I can make now is almost the women being off limits, and that's because we have a lot of women that are doing things that men is doing. You know what I mean? You can't act like a nigga and get out here and don't want the consequences of acting like a nigga. It's women that hustle. You know what I mean? They move birds. They move like niggas. They set niggas up. It's a lot of that going on out here, and a lot of times we see the consequences of women getting shot and gunned down because of the way that they out here living. So women, I just urge y'all to, kind of be ladies again. You know what I mean? Like, fellas is more built for the streets. You know what I mean? Not saying that we need to be in them, but we more built for them. And at least if it come back on us, it come back on us. And just hopefully we're not doing too much like in HoneyKomb case where it come back and it causes the ops to go after your family. So he's talked about it, man. He's talked about money being on his head and attempts on his life, and he's talked about it, man. So to me, it's no surprise to him. I saw that he made a comment on Instagram, and he basically was like, it hurts, and you can't blame him. I know that hurts. You know what I mean? So it hurts. He knows that in a situation like that where you done lost your grandparents due to your own situation and beef and things like that. He knows what comes along with it. But he did say that he offered to move his grandparents out of that house, move them away, just to kind of keep them away from his stuff, and also probably to share his blessings, man. He's been blessed financially. So, he offered them, the people who, looked out for him, helped raise him and guided and molded him, he offered to move them, and they just wasn't trying to go. And they told him, hey, if it's our time, it's our time. It's all in God's plan. And, he said, with that, he knows that they're in heaven. And he said it. He said, hey, save me a spot because I'm for sure coming. And I can tell with that right there, that was the last straw. Like he probably was playing it fair. If I see y'all see me, that's what it is. But when you go after somebody's family, when you go after somebody's grandparents, you go after someone's children, you go after someone's wife, you playing a dangerous game, man, because now you done kind of really set off the I don't care button. I don't give a fuck. Whatever happens in the end, happens in the end, but you just took my family from me. You just took my grandparents. Innocent people that had nothing to do with it. So now, the retaliation is a must. So that person, I'm pretty sure he knows who had money on his head. He knows who he been beefing with. He knows all that. So like I said, that person got to think ahead now. You got to look out for your family. You got to look out for yourself. You got to look out for your kids. Because once you cross that line, you done cross that line. And so, hey, again, man, hey, for my fellas that's out here in the streets, man, hey, be smart. I done did a lot, man. I just say this, man. One thing for sure, when it comes down to having to use my gun or protect myself or stand up and be a man about it, man, you got to make the best decisions for yourself. Don't be no punk out here, but don't be too quick to move. You know what I mean? Because once you step in, once you cross that line, once blood is on your hand, especially if you ain't do it right, once that blood is on your hand and somebody knows blood is on your hand, for the rest of your life, you're going to be living like you got blood on your hand and somebody knows it. So you're going to have to start watching out for their family, the people that you call friends, the people that you associate with, the people you date, these women. You're going to have to start watching out for all of it. You'll never be able to move the same again. So again, man, prayers out to HoneyKomb Brazy and his family. You tuned in to N Hale TV. I'm going to bring y'all more news, more content, guests. Y'all let me know the topics, man. It's a lot of beef going on out here in the hip-hop industry. I'm going to make a video about that next, just talking about the RICO Act and what you can expect in this rap game. It's almost a setup, but we're going to talk about that next time. Tune in, subscribe, hit the notification bell. N Hale TV. Rest in peace, HoneyKomb Brazy's grandparents. Prayers for their family. I'm going to holler at y'all. Be blessed.